Unlock lasting wealth. 10 ancient Japanese secrets most Americans miss. Ever wonder how Japanese families seem to quietly build substantial wealth, generation after generation, while many struggle paycheck to paycheck? What if the secret isn't about how much they earn, but timeless wisdom they've guarded for centuries? Stay tuned to discover the 10 Japanese principles that could reshape your financial future. Warren Buffett, one of the world's richest men, admitted learning crucial wealth strategies from his Japanese friends. Friends who build fortunes silently, without the flashy displays we often see. What do they know that we don't? We're counting down 10 powerful secrets, starting now. Does your money seem to vanish by the end of the month? Are you tired of the constant pressure to keep up? Discover the Japanese approach to lasting financial security. Simple, powerful principles that work even on modest incomes, without risky bets or drowning in debt. Let's unlock these secrets together. Have you ever looked at Japanese families and wondered how they build wealth so effortlessly, while many elsewhere feel like they're constantly playing catch-up? What if I told you their advantage isn't necessarily higher incomes, but rather profound secrets they've practiced for generations? It's fascinating. Even Warren Buffett mentioned that many of his wealthiest associates are Japanese, all adhering to similar wealth-building philosophies. But here's the truly captivating part. They amass their fortunes quietly, without the flashy cars, enormous houses, or the typical symbols of affluence we often equate with success. So, what is their secret? I've uncovered 10 potent financial principles that illuminate why the Japanese are masters of creating enduring wealth. Think of each one as a piece of an ancient, valuable puzzle. When you assemble them, your entire perspective on money is likely to shift dramatically. And pay close attention to that final principle. It's arguably the most transformative. It clearly distinguishes those who achieve genuine, lasting financial security from those who merely appear wealthy. Honestly, it runs so counter to common beliefs in many Western cultures that most people overlook it entirely. We're going to count down these secrets from 10 to 1, saving the most impactful for the very end. Trust me, by the time we unveil number 1, you'll grasp why Japanese families can cultivate wealth even with moderate earnings, avoiding unnecessary risks and the crushing weight of debt. Let's start with secret number 10, a principle so fundamental it redefines how you perceive wealth itself. Imagine losing all your money tomorrow. How quickly could you recover? Most might think, without money, I'm finished. But in Japan, there's a remarkably different way of viewing wealth that extends far beyond the numbers in a bank account. It's such a powerful idea that even Warren Buffett acknowledged learning it from his Japanese connections. Often we measure wealth by tangible possessions: the house, the car, the investments, that expensive watch. The Japanese, however, emphasize what they term invisible assets. These are the invaluable things no one can ever take from you: your network of contacts, your hard-earned reputation, and the knowledge you've accumulated over time. Consider this real-life example. I knew a Japanese entrepreneur who lost everything during the 2008 financial crisis. Yet, within less than a month, he had 3 job offers and multiple investors eager to partner with him. Why? Because for years he had diligently built something far more precious than money: trust and robust relationships. Even more compelling, Harvard researchers found that individuals with strong invisible assets can recover financially nearly twice as fast after experiencing a major setback. Think about it. How many people do you know who could realistically help you secure a new job tomorrow? Who would lend you money without a second thought? That network is your true safety net. And here's the remarkable thing. While material possessions like cars and houses often depreciate, your invisible assets only appreciate. Every new skill mastered, every relationship nurtured, every experience gained becomes more valuable with each passing year. It's like owning an investment that perpetually grows and is immune to external threats. Have you considered actively building your own invisible assets? If this concept resonates, wait until you hear the next Japanese secret. It involves an age-old method for transforming these intangible assets into tangible financial results, and anyone can start applying it, even from scratch. Ninth secret, the Kakebo method. Do you ever check your bank balance at month's end and wonder, where did all my money actually go? You're definitely not alone. This is a common struggle, but the Japanese have employed a powerful, century-old method to solve this exact issue. It's called Kakebo, and its effectiveness is so recognized that even major Japanese banks recommend it. What's truly intriguing is that while many of us rely on complex apps or detailed spreadsheets for expense tracking, the Japanese often use something far simpler, a basic notebook. But don't underestimate its simplicity. Studies indicate that families consistently using Kakebo save approximately 35% more than those using digital tracking methods. Why? Because the physical act of writing down every single dollar spent forces you to pause and think twice before making the purchase. Consider this. When was the last time you felt a genuine emotional connection, positive or negative, when simply swiping a credit card? That's precisely the challenge. Modern banking has rendered money somewhat invisible, and when we can't tangibly see it, our tendency is to spend more freely. The Kakebo method brings your finances back into the physical world, where you can see, feel, and most importantly, consciously control your money. Let me share a striking finding. A recent study involving 1,000 Japanese households revealed that those diligently using Kakebo had virtually zero credit card debt. This wasn't because they earned significantly more, but because their spending was far more intentional. Every purchase was filtered through 4 straightforward questions. Can I truly live without this item? Do I already own something similar that serves the same purpose? Will this purchase genuinely enhance my life? And can I potentially find this item cheaper elsewhere? Want to give it a try? It's simple to start. Get a notebook and categorize your anticipated expenses into 4 broad areas. Needs, essentials like housing, food. Wants, non-essentials, discretionary spending. Culture, things that enrich your life like books or courses. And unexpected expenses, repairs, emergencies. For the next week, meticulously write down every single purchase you make. Don't judge yourself. Just focus on building awareness. You might be astonished at how many seemingly small, unnecessary expenses you uncover. Those daily coffees or impulsive online buys really do accumulate rapidly. But what elevates Kakebo beyond mere tracking is its focus on understanding your fundamental relationship with money. The Japanese believe your spending habits are a direct reflection of your core values and priorities. As you begin to see your spending patterns laid out on paper, you gain clearer insights into your life choices, and that self-awareness is the catalyst for genuine financial transformation. Speaking of transformation, the next point might just blow your mind. Ever wondered how Japanese families manage significant savings without feeling constantly deprived? Their next secret fundamentally alters the way you think about spending, and it's a practice anyone can adopt starting tomorrow. 7th secret, the Japanese aversion to debt. Have you ever noticed that spending with a credit card somehow feels less real, less impactful than spending actual cash? That feeling is precisely the issue. While swiping plastic for nearly everything is commonplace in many Western countries, the Japanese maintain a fundamentally different approach that helps keep them largely debt-free. Once you grasp their reasoning, your view of credit cards might change forever. Here's a sobering statistic. The average American household carries around $7,000 in credit card debt, often at interest rates over 20%. Meanwhile, in Japan, only about 18% of consumer payments use credit cards. This isn't due to lack of access. It's rooted in understanding the true cost of convenience often equals your financial freedom. The Japanese have a saying, "Debt is a burden that weighs heavier than any physical load." They tend to view credit card debt as a form of financial imprisonment. When you're consistently paying 20% interest, you're essentially dedicating 1 day out of 5, working just to service that debt. Is that convenience worth 20% of your productive life? A Japanese financial advisor profoundly shifted my perspective when he said, "If you need a credit card to buy something, you fundamentally cannot afford it." Initially, this sounded extreme. But then he showed the math. A $1,000 purchase on a card with 20% APR, paid off with minimum payments, can easily cost over $2,000 total. Suddenly, that great deal isn't appealing. So what do the Japanese typically do? They predominantly use cash or debit cards. Why? The physical act of handing over cash triggers a psychological response, a sense of transaction, that digital payments lack. Studies confirm people spend 12% to 18% less using cash versus credit cards. That's like an immediate raise just by changing your payment method. Interested? Try a 30-day cash challenge. Withdraw your budgeted weekly spending amount in cash and observe how differently you approach purchases. You don't need to cut up your cards, but perhaps reserve them strictly for genuine emergencies or planned large purchases you can pay off immediately. What if you could extend this financial control further? Our next secret explores how Japanese families educate children about money from a very young age, fostering generational wealth. You can start implementing these techniques today. Sixth secret: financial education from birth. Isn't it striking how few people in many Western societies receive formal education about personal finance in school? Instead, many grow up hearing vague admonitions like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or are simply advised to get good grades to secure a good job. Meanwhile, Japanese families have long practiced teaching their children a distinctly different philosophy regarding money, one designed to cultivate financially independent adults from an early age. Here's a mind-blowing cultural difference. In Japanese households, financial literacy often begins as early as age 5. It doesn't start with complex investment theories, but with understanding money's real value. While some children might receive allowances simply for existing, Japanese children typically learn money is earned through contribution and wise choices. The results are stark. While 65% of American adults live paycheck to paycheck, Japanese families boast some of the highest savings rates globally. What's their secret? Instilling 3 core principles: earn wisely, save consistently, and invest patiently long-term. While straightforward, the impact resonates across generations. A common practice: parents provide 3 distinct jars labeled spend, save, and yest. When the child receives money, they're guided to divide it among these. Spend is for immediate wants, save for future goals, and invest is typically untouched for long-term wealth building. This simple system ingrains lifelong financial habits often missed by traditional schooling. Want to implement this? Start the 3-jar approach. Crucially, don't just give money passively. Help children find age-appropriate ways to earn it. Then, guide them in allocating each dollar earned. Encourage asking, "Is this item worth the time and effort I invested earning this money?" This fosters a powerful connection between work, money, and value. But this is just the beginning of cultivating generational wealth. What if saving could be almost automatic? Our next secret unveils the Japanese community-based saving system. So effective, even corporations adopt its principles. Fifth secret, the power of community saving. Tanomoshin. Have you ever embarked on a savings goal with great enthusiasm, only to find your motivation waning after a few months when going it alone? You're certainly not alone in that experience. While individual financial goals are common in many cultures, the Japanese have long harnessed a remarkable force: the power of community in achieving financial objectives. It's traditionally known as the Tanomoshin system, and it has successfully helped families save money collectively for centuries. Imagine this scenario. A group of, say, 10 individuals agree to contribute a fixed amount, perhaps $100 each, into a shared pool every single month. Each month, one member of the group takes home the entire collected sum, in this case, $1,000. This structure inherently creates strong accountability among members. More than that, it provides a powerful, tangible incentive to consistently keep saving, knowing your turn to receive the lump sum is coming. This isn't merely a theoretical concept. It's a time-tested system proven effective over generations in Japan. And now, interestingly, major companies are exploring similar community-based savings programs for their employees, recognizing the system's inherent strengths. What makes this communal approach so potent? Research indicates that individuals who participate in group savings initiatives are up to 75% more likely to successfully reach their financial goals compared to those attempting to save in isolation. Why such a significant difference? Humans are fundamentally social beings. When we make commitments not just to ourselves, but also to others within a group, our likelihood of following through increases dramatically. It functions much like having a workout buddy, but specifically for strengthening your financial habits. I recently spoke with a Japanese family who effectively utilized this system to save for the down payment on their first home. Instead of facing the daunting task alone over many years, they joined a saving circle with 5 other families who shared similar goals. Within just 18 months, they had accumulated enough funds for their down payment. The most rewarding aspect, they shared, was that because everyone was mutually supporting and encouraging one another, the process felt less like a burdensome sacrifice and more like a collaborative team achievement. Want to try this concept? Start small. Find 2 or 3 trusted friends with compatible financial goals. Agree on a realistic monthly saving target, perhaps $200 each. Use a shared tracking method. A simple spreadsheet works to monitor contributions and progress transparently. Meet regularly, maybe monthly, to discuss challenges, share successes, and celebrate milestones together. The key is selecting individuals genuinely as committed as you are to the shared goal. But what if you could amplify this community approach? Our next secret introduces smart frugality, showing how the Japanese make every dollar work harder without feeling deprived. This game changer promises to transform your perspective on spending. Fourth secret, smart frugality, motaini. Do you ever find that regardless of how much your income increases, it somehow never feels quite sufficient? The Japanese embrace a fascinating concept known as motaini. This isn't about relentless penny pinching or extreme austerity. Rather, it's a mindset focused on extracting the absolute maximum value from every single dollar spent and resource used. Once you truly internalize this principle, your approach to spending will likely undergo a significant transformation. Consider this startling fact. The average American household wastes over $1,500 annually on things like unused subscriptions, food that spoils before being eaten, and impulsive purchases made without real consideration. Meanwhile, Japanese families are often cited as masters of stretching their money effectively without feeling perpetually deprived. Their secret? They don't solely concentrate on spending less, they prioritize spending better. Think of it as embodying the qualities of a discerning, smart consumer, rather than simply being cheap. Let me share a lesson that altered my habits. I learned from a Japanese mentor about evaluating purchases based on value per dollar. Instead of primarily asking how much, they encourage asking how much genuine value will this bring over time. For instance, they might invest $200 in a high-quality coffee maker lasting 10 years rather than spending $4 daily on cafe coffees. This single decision can save over $10,000 that decade, enough to significantly fund retirement. This isn't about being monk-like. Japanese frugality, or motte-nai, centers on deliberate choices. Their guideline: if an item doesn't offer lasting value, it's probably not worth acquiring. Instead of 5 mediocre jackets, they invest in one excellent one. Rather than subscribing to every streaming service, they select the 1 or 2 they genuinely use. It prioritizes quality and utility over quantity. Want to apply this? Start a value audit. Review last month's expenses and ask 3 critical questions for each purchase. Did I get real, lasting value? Could I have gotten similar value for less? Will this still hold value in a year? You might be surprised how many expenditures fail this test. Then consciously redirect saved money towards things truly enhancing your life and goals. But smart spending is just one component. Our next secret unveils the Japanese system for organizing money, so effective it can transform disorganized spenders into financial masters. This straightforward method has empowered countless families to build substantial wealth. Third secret: the envelope system. Kekeibo variation. Shunu bukuro. Do you ever get to the end of the month and genuinely have no clear idea where all your money actually went? It's a very common frustration. While many wrestle with complex budgeting apps, the Japanese often employ a brilliantly simple physical system, sometimes referred to as shunu bukuro, or closely related to kekeibo, essentially the envelope method. Unlike modern digital banking tools that can make money feel abstract and invisible, this hands-on system makes every single dollar tangible and accountable. In Japan, even high-level executives utilize this method. They physically divide monthly income into designated envelopes for housing, food, transportation, savings, entertainment, etc. The rule is simple. Once an envelope is empty, spending in that category stops until the next income cycle. No borrowing between envelopes. Sound too simple? Compellingly, studies show envelope system users save, on average, 28% more money than digital budgeters. Why? Handling physical cash makes spending feel undeniably real. Let me share an eye-opening experience. I thought I was good with money using a budgeting app. Then, a Japanese friend introduced his envelope system. Within 3 months, I discovered I'd been consistently overspending by $600 monthly without realizing, $700 to $200 annually vanishing. The envelopes made my spending visible and truly controllable. Here's how to start. Take your net monthly income and create about 6 basic envelopes. Allocate percentages like housing, which are 35%, food, or 15%, transportation, 15%, savings and investing, 20%, entertainment, 10%, misc buffer, said. These are starting points. Adjust them to your income and lifestyle. The non-negotiable key: never borrow from one envelope to fund another. If entertainment runs out, find free activities. The system's true power is psychological. Physically observing money diminishing makes you more conscious automatically. No complex tracking, just natural awareness. Plus, watching your savings envelope thicken provides powerful reinforcement. no app replicates. What if you could elevate this control? Our next secret reveals Japan's significantly different investing approach and why their patient strategy builds financial stability. Prepare yourself, this might challenge your ideas about growing wealth. Second secret: investing like the Japanese. Steady stream investing. Have you ever pondered why countless people invest in the stock market, yet relatively few manage to build truly substantial, lasting wealth through it? While many chase the allure of hot stocks, volatile crypto trends, or complex derivatives, the Japanese have quietly adhered to an investment strategy that has proven effective for generations. And the most appealing aspect? It's remarkably simple, making it accessible for anyone to implement, regardless of their prior financial expertise. Here's a rather stark statistic. Studies suggest that around 85% of individual investors who actively try to time the market or pick individual winning stocks actually end up losing money over the long run. In contrast, Japanese investors typically focus on an entirely different philosophy, which can be termed steady stream investing. Instead of aiming for rapid, speculative riches, their primary goal is to build wealth methodically and consistently through investing in proven, understandable assets over extended periods. Think of it as the fundamental difference between gambling at a casino and patiently cultivating a productive garden. Let me share wisdom that influenced my approach. A Japanese investment mentor told me, if you cannot clearly explain an investment concept to a 10-year-old child, you shouldn't put your hard-earned money into it. This simple advice shielded me from many risky, complex ventures. Generally, Japanese investors aren't drawn to intricate financial products. They favor straightforward investments like broad market index funds, stocks of solid companies paying consistent dividends, and potentially REITs. The core Japanese investment strategy has 3 principles. First, invest long-term. Think decades, not months. Second, prioritize steady income like dividends over chasing rapid capital gains. They value reliable returns. Third, never invest money you cannot realistically afford to lose entirely. Here's a practical illustration. Investing $500 monthly into a broad market index fund, assuming % average annual return, could potentially grow over $500,000 within 25 years. This shows the power of patience, consistency, and compounding. Want to invest similarly? Apply the sleep test. Only invest where you can sleep soundly, without constant worry. Consider starting with low-cost index funds offering broad diversification, like S&P 500 trackers. You might also research stable dividend-paying companies like Johnson & Johnson or Procter & Gamble. These may not be exciting, but remember, the objective is building sustainable wealth, not having thrilling stories for social gatherings. But here's where everything culminates. Our final, number 1 secret beautifully ties all the previous principles together. It reveals the most potent underlying philosophy driving Japanese wealth accumulation. It's the core differentiator between those who achieve genuine, enduring financial security and those who merely project an image of wealth. Once you fully grasp this ultimate principle, your entire relationship with money may be irrevocably transformed. Now that you've explored these 10 powerful Japanese financial secrets, from valuing invisible assets to embracing silent wealth, the path forward is yours to choose. Which principle resonated most strongly with you? Will you focus on consciously tracking your spending like with Kakebo, prioritize long-term investing, or perhaps start building your wealth more quietly, away from the pressure of external appearances? Take one step today. Choose one principle and begin integrating it into your financial life. Remember, consistent, small actions inspired by this timeless wisdom can lead to profound, lasting financial well-being. What step will you take first?